Hello everyone, this is Dean the Autist, and let's get back to it. Yeah, things have returned to normal. Well, I transferred in at a pretty unusual time, and I can hardly say that I had a normal first few weeks here. I guess it's more like things have calmed down and reached normality. I've been here longer than I thought. It's hard not to think about all the stuff I must have missed in this school before my arrival, or the things that might have happened in my old school since I've been gone. I wonder where these feelings come from, since I didn't leave much behind. I have a lot more here that I like. If that wasn't the case, then I wouldn't even bother with something like student council or Shizune and Misha. I would be hard pressed to care about anything, if this school was how I imagined it would be. So even this feeling of a daily routine makes me glad in a way. I dread the amount of work that's going to hit me in student council after school, enough to want to consider stepping out on my duties just this once, yet it's nice to feel like there's something I can do. Shizune drops a stack of attendance sheets next to me. Thanks again for helping out. Thanks again, Hee-chan. Sure is a lot of work though. I had to skip out on a sign language class again, but now I'm at a level where I can understand most of Shizune's and Misha's conversations with each other, so I'm not too bothered by it. Shizune still doesn't know that though. I'm determined to keep things that way until I'm very sure of my skills. Perhaps this is a little childish of me? Tanabata is in less than 5 days, but they're going to start building the stalls tomorrow. Hee-chan, we might have to help out with building stalls again starting tomorrow. Why? What was the point of taking them apart then? That took days, didn't it? Yep, that's right. Even though Hee-chan wasn't there for it. I would have helped out if you asked. It wouldn't have made much sense to bore you with cleanup duty after you enjoyed the festival so much. It wouldn't have made sense to bore you with making you clean up right after the festival. It would have ruined the fun. Besides, Hee-chan is lazy anyway. You would have tried to run away again. Hee-chan doesn't like playing Foxhound. That stings. Shizune covers her mouth with her hand and starts shaking. It takes me a second to realize she's laughing, mostly because she's doing so completely soundlessly. It's a little strange to see, but more or less the same good-spirited kind as Misha's, without being eardrum piercing. That's a good question though, Hee-chan. Huh? Stalls. It's a storage issue. The school doesn't have anywhere to store so many stalls. Since each one is pretty large, they won't pay for outside storage either. So this is what they decided on. It's inefficient, but cheaper. Because the school doesn't have anywhere to store that many stalls, Hee-chan. Yeah, right. They do, but they don't want to pay. Sorry, Hee-chan. It's because of the previous generation. The leadership decided that outside storage costs had risen too much, and the student council before us was too weak-willed to tell them that it's stupid to have to build and disassemble 60 stalls twice every year. Okay. Hee-chan, let's eat something. It feels like we've been working all day. We have, now that I think about it. I am hungry. I would have had lunch, but it was really crowded today for some reason, so I decided it wasn't worth the trouble. It was like that today because they had some especially interesting things for sale on the side. Like what? No, don't tell me. I guess it doesn't matter since I won't be able to eat them anyway. Shizune looks oddly pleased with herself. I wonder what the context of that would be. I prepared ahead of time for this. Beaming with self-satisfaction, she produces a wide assortment of food from her bag. I can immediately see that 90% of it, or more, was taken from the lunchroom. There's a lot as well. Isn't there a limit on how much a person can buy? That means these gains are definitely ill-gotten. The veal cutlet bread is always sold out in the first minute of lunch. I'm impressed you managed to obtain one. Thank you. They sell veal in the school? What? Okay. I reach for it quickly, but Shizune immediately makes a grab for it as well. Her hand goes slack for a second when it touches mine, but she immediately pushes forth with redoubled effort, that blazing competitive spirit flashing dangerously in her eyes, her fingers pry at mine, searching for an opening. I don't budge an inch, prepared to fight for this bread with my life. I might never have another chance to eat this. I am fully aware that if we continue like this, we could crush the bread, greatly reducing its edibility. Misha, tell her that unless she lets go, the bread is going to be crushed. Why can't you do that yourself? I'm startled she can so nonchalantly let slip that I could communicate with Shizune just fine if I wanted to. I almost considered the possibility it was intentional, but sure she was just distracted by trying to tear the wrapper off a juice box straw. Isn't it obvious? I can't let go of the bread. I'll tell Shichan that then. She puts her palms up to the sky and shrugs, a wide grin on her face. Why not? Because you have a stake in this, so I can't trust you. If Shichan wants to reply, she has to let go of the bread, and then you win. Who knows, who knows. Maybe that's what you want, Hichan. It wouldn't be fair, so I'm going to be neutral. Like Switzerland. Switzerland? Do you know about Switzerland? Of course I do. It's neutral. They're neutral. Yeah, because they're Switzerland. Shizune stares at me cockily, the tip of her tongue sticking out slightly between her teeth as she continues to tug firmly at the veal cutlet bread between us. Suddenly, she lets go and holds her hands up, palms facing outwards, the universal gesture of peace. This seems like a poor way to settle this, doesn't it? We might crush the bread. She glares, and her passive expression quickly plummets into a disapproving grimace. Hichan, drop the bread. We are negotiating now. I drop the bread reluctantly. Misha's hands dart in from the side, her fingers drumming across the table as it makes its way over. Aha! Aha! Don't mind me. I don't even really like veal. I'll just take the sandwich right here, and something to drink too. Picking them up cautiously, she immediately retreats. She has the right idea. I could just pick something else. There are tons of delicious things here. The chicken katsudon bread is also a popular seller, high ranking in taste and demand, but I've already eaten one before. You're so immature, Hizao. This wouldn't be a problem if you would pick something else. The chicken katsudon bread is delicious. You're so much immature, Hichan. Why don't you pick the chicken katsudon bread instead? It's delicious. But I've already eaten that. Hichan, why are you obsessed with eating the veal cutlet bread specifically? It's hard to get normally. Rare things are more delicious. You are acting like a child. You're acting like a kid, Hichan. Why don't you eat the chicken bread? That's not important. Turning bright red, she smiles cunningly and continues. There is no reasoning with you, so it looks like there's only one way to settle this. We are going to play for it. Oh boy. That doesn't matter. We'll play for it instead. Somehow I expected this. It's the logical conclusion. Shizune has been studying for a long time, pretty much continuously up until now. With our finals over, I guess that surplus energy has to go somewhere. Play what? The oldest game known to man, upon which the fate of nations has been known to rest. Rock, paper, scissors. Are you sure it's the oldest game known to man? We'll play rock, paper, scissors. Really? That sounds so serious, Shichan. There's no humor in her expression. She is dead set on this. Okay. She draws her hand back and I mirror her. Go. We both put out rock. A draw. I had thought I had the perfect plan. Rock is unbeatable. Shizune frowns, deeply upset by this unexpected turn of events, not as planned. Again. 2 papers. Damn. Again. We both throw out 2 rocks again, but a third hand is among us representing scissors. This looks like fun. Can I play? It's a duel, Chichan. Dueling conduct. You're right. I really don't know. The faster she signs, the harder it is to follow. In fact, it looks like even Misha is having trouble keeping up. What is she talking about? One more time. We tie again. Every time, Shizune demands a rematch, eventually skipping that step altogether and throwing rock, paper, scissors out with increasingly reckless abandon. Even playing completely randomly, we continue to tie. This is a mathematical long shot. Misha hovers above us, watching it all and laughing each time we draw. After 16 rounds, Shizune pushes her share away from the table and stands up. Enough of this, Hee-chan. I see what I have been doing wrong. This will all be over in the next round, so brace yourself, okay? Okay. I have studied your thought processes and I see how you play. I'm anticipating your next move and will combat it expertly. This is all news to me, as I can't remember what we were doing this over. Shizune grins confidently. Shizune grins confidently, a look of fearless daring on her face. Her cool eyes flash with pure, contemplative spirit as she draws her hand back, goading me wordlessly to do the same. Her form is amazing, like a professional bowler or something. Just to throw a hand motion. 2 papers. Shizune's body immediately goes slack. She rubs her temples with a look of exasperation on her face as she lets out a sigh, so long it sounds like a tire deflating. I realize I've gotten a lot hungrier in the time that we've been doing this. We can just split it. I break the bread in half and offer one half of it to Shizune. She takes it. Thank you. She looks at the bread in her hand, studying it. But this feels hollow somehow. Regardless of how she feels, she still eats it. All of a sudden, I see Misha observing the scene out of the corner of my eye. Hee-chan, that was very romantic, I think. Oh, come on. Wahahaha! She laughs and takes a bite of her own second sandwich. We sat in silence for a while, Shizune and I managing to avoid any other contests, and then we go back to work. As I finish up the day's usual filing, I think to myself that this might be Shizune's way of trying to start this week on a high note. After all, tomorrow is when the real work will begin, and with her hands literally full building stalls, she won't be able to talk very much. It'll likely be pretty dull and tiring, like it was the first time around. I'm appreciative of her effort in that case. It's nice to have days like this as a way of enjoying yourself before the days ahead. I think that was her idea as well. I also remember that I still have to get rid of Kenji's package. The damn thing is bulky and somehow I've never been able to track him down since I picked it up. After student council is adjourned for the day, I walk towards the vending machines to look for something to drink, parting with Shizune and Misha. It's a short trip, but after even just a few seconds, I start to get the feeling I'm not alone. A pair of hands cover my eyes. Guess who? Shizune. It's me, Hee-chan. Yeah, I know. Then why'd you say it was Chi-chan? It's okay to be wrong sometimes, Hee-chan. You're too proud. Anyway, after student council, you don't usually have plans, right? So you're just going to go straight to your dorm? What else? Where else would I go? Okay, that's great. That's great, Hee-chan. I wanted to talk to you today, so this works out perfectly. 2 high school students alone after classes in a quiet, empty building. As the sun dies, the sky a romantic amber color. The cute girl says that she wants to talk. What a secretive and appealing situation. My imagination is buzzing. It's likely not going to be anywhere near as exciting as I am making it out to be, but it's fun to play it up that way. The popping sound of my canned coffee opening destroys any chance of maintaining such a cheesy mood, sounding louder than I ever thought imaginable, amplified by the context of the situation. I sigh in disappointment and relief. So, what is it? Actually, I'm a little behind in some of my classes, and if I don't catch up, it could be a problem. I can't put it off any longer. My teachers say that I have to really start taking things seriously, so I should listen, especially because this is the 3rd time. I'm sorry, Hee-chan. Why are you apologizing? I won't be able to help you or Chi-chan with student council for a few days. It'll only be for 2 or 3 days, really. I'll definitely try and come back as soon as possible, but I can't say I'm happy about this. It's supposed to be getting really busy this week too, isn't it? That's some unfortunate timing. For a second, I want to ask if maybe Shizune could pull some strings to get her out of it. But Misha looks so genuinely apologetic about it, it'd be pretty dickish of me to say something like that. Besides, if she says it's something she can't put off any longer, I'm inclined to believe her, considering how surprisingly serious she can be with student council duties. Yeah, I see. It's okay. You managed with just Shizune and yourself last year, didn't you? So I'm sure I'll be able as well, don't worry. Really? Thank you, Hee-chan. Really? Yay, yay. I didn't know Hee-chan would take it so well. I thought you'd be worried about how there's going to be so much work with Tanabata coming up and everything. Damn, she knows me oddly well. But Hee-chan is so composed, I'm glad. Haha. Yeah, you're sort of right. I was thinking about it, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to freak out over that. It's going to be a little annoying passing that pad back and forth to talk to Shizune, though. Hee-chan, just tell Chi-chan that you use sign language too. I don't understand why you won't. Not yet. I can understand most things already, but I want to be really sure. Actually, I wouldn't mind. The secrecy is killing me too. And it would be nice to be able to talk to her in a real conversation. Don't worry, I'm gonna have to tell her eventually. I want to. Actually, I'm trying to think of a good opportunity for it. That won't be a problem, Hee-chan. Why not? Well, because I kind of told Chi-chan that you could understand her, she was worried about the same thing, that you wouldn't be able to understand each other. So I was worried, but it worked out fine in the end after all. I lose it. Ah! Do you know how stupid I look now? I sat there for like half a damn day, acted like I couldn't read sign language, and here you are seriously telling me that she knew the whole time I could. She was probably thinking, this guy is a complete jackass, pretending he can't understand me. I just made a total ass of myself. How could you let me do this? Misha frowns, seeming lost for words on realizing that I'm taking this differently than she might have expected. She doesn't speak again until after seeing that I've calmed down. But Hee-chan, I think this is definitely for the best, she says without batting an eye, having waited patiently through my panic to say it. The cheerful delivery of her words makes it seem like she sliced out the time between when she dropped the bomb on me and now. It's pretty funny in a way. You have such a one-track mind, you know that? Yes, the damage is done. If Misha can believe that things will work out with such unflinching surety, then maybe it's worth giving it a chance. And if things don't work out, I'll run as fast as I possibly can. To try to make up to me anyway, just in case, she offers to buy me another drink from the vending machine. It's a very small token of apology, but I suppose it's the thought that counts, and her thoughts are sincere. Plus, it's a free drink, so I accept. I throw back my daily fistful of pills with a glass of water. After a solid 8 hours of sleep, I don't really know what I was afraid of last night. As I chew a particularly large tablet in half, I continue to rationalize my worries away. Shizune knew I was taking sign language classes all day yesterday, and didn't make a big deal out of it. She might be mute, but that doesn't mean she can't make her feelings known. No, in fact, it seems like she's all the more direct for it. She doesn't beat around the bush or hold back. She always makes herself clear unapologetically, so there can be no mistakes. So, if she wasn't mad then, it's unlikely she would be at all. And on top of that, I didn't do anything wrong anyway. But as that fear of mine recedes, the thought of spending a couple days with Shizune without Misha takes its place. I hadn't really thought about it yesterday, but the idea becomes more and more intimidating. It's true I can understand sign language pretty well, but I would definitely hesitate to say I can understand it above a basic level. And if she were to speed up her signing, which she does quite a bit, I don't think I could keep up. Signing too is not my strong suit. Doing both at the same time like Misha can is still a distant dream. Hee-chan. What? Don't forget, you said you would help out with building stalls today, behind the school after classes are over, okay? I know. Last time you helped out, Hee-chan. We really appreciate it. This time it's even more important, so skipping out is unforgivable, okay? I want to ask why that is, but there isn't an opportunity to. Besides, Misha is behind in her classes, so it seems like a bad idea to distract her now that I know that. Can I always ask her at lunch? Which is what I end up doing. Because Hee-chan, a festival that celebrates a town is exactly what it looks like. It's to celebrate your home and its history. Tanabata is different. It's for wishes and lovers. That definitely makes it more important, doesn't it? Yeah, naturally it would be. I disagree. Because, frankly, feelings oftentimes are fleeting. Right? And, you know, the vast majority of relationships in the modern day do not work out very well. And that could be for a myriad of reasons, but, like, in all honesty, like, celebrating history, tradition, and your homeland is far more important for me than it is for wishes and lovers, because you can make all the wishes you want. If you don't work on them, odds are they won't come true. And for lovers, again, it could just, like I never had a quote-unquote real lover, so, like, I don't know, right? But, you know, I could survive without one. So, I mean, I can't really, like... Anyways. I don't really see this. Is that really what it is for, though? Hee-chan, you have no sense of fun. She puffs out her cheeks in displeasure, before blowing the air out like a deflating balloon. You have to appreciate things like that, even if it's just an excuse to eat interesting things and dress up in the end. I'll be disappointed in you if you don't, okay? Before I can say anything, she turns to the side to inhale a croquette. Inhale. After class, I meet Shizune behind the school, where it seems she's already set everything up sometime yesterday. She greets me with a short wave, and then with a flourish of the hammer already in her hand, extends her arm towards the stalls behind her, some of them already half completed, others still haphazard piles of board bundled together with string. As time passes, I realize the pills could only do so much, and I get way more tired than I should be normal. Luckily, Shizune's back is to me, so I can afford to take a lot of breaks without having to worry about her wondering why. When I stop and think about it, though, I start to feel pretty guilty for taking advantage of her inability to hear that my hammer stopped banging. It's a terrible thing to be happy about. Her work ethic is admirable. It's obvious that it bores her, and even annoys her, but she doesn't slacken her pace. When she gets tired nailing a stall together with one arm, she switches to the other. Shizune. I feel like an idiot the second I say her name. I can't tell her what I think. There's a hammer in my hand as well, and in the end, I feel like I have to keep up with her. I can't slack off either, especially when it's just the two of us. There's no time to sign, no opportunity, not even for a compliment for a job well done. Even something as casual as that would require me to put my hammer down, get her attention, and then sign it to her. A simple gesture turned into something so needlessly complex, like a single footstep taken on a road that's longer than first imagined. I've known her long enough to know this, and still forgot it. The air is filled with the rhythmic knocking of nails being driven into wood. It's actually kind of nice after a while. To pass the monotony of the task at hand, I try to match the hammering to Shizune's, then alternate it to try to form a beat. Of course, she doesn't notice. It makes me wonder, does the lack of sound make this work seem even more drawn out and boring to her? It is strange, being unable to hear the results of her actions, even as she feels the vibrations through her fingers, or having no concept of sound. Does it bother her at all? Distracted, I don't notice Shizune sneaking up on me until her head pops into view. Taking a break? Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's do that. You can understand sign language. It makes it more convenient for both of us, even though you hid it from me. Why? Why what? Why did you decide to take sign language? Her eyes don't break off from mine, even for a second. If she needs to read my response, her peripheral vision is good enough. Once she has something in her gaze, she doesn't look away. It's strange how piercing her eyes can be, dark as a lake at night. Because I wanted to. It seemed like it would come in handy, and it did, didn't it? Yes. Sorry, I didn't catch any of that. You see, this thing still comes up now and then. I wish Misha were here. She has work to make up for, doesn't she? That might be partially my fault. Misha doesn't need supplemental lessons. Her grades aren't the best, but she understands how the decisions she makes affects others. That puts her ahead of many people. Especially certain blondes! She doesn't forget things easily. Your sign language is very good. You're learning oddly fast. I've been taking classes for a while now, and it's kind of easy to pick up after a while. Through immersion or osmosis, that kind of thing. It's not too bad. And if I'm really stuck, Misha's there too. I guess I spoke too soon. I did not understand any of that. Time to backpedal. Well, it's actually not that easy. It's actually hard as hell, like trying to pick up broken glass. But I guess in some ways it's interesting as well, like an adventure. Well, no. Picking up broken glass is not an adventure. It sure is, it's just as challenging. If you used a dustpan and a broom, it's not. I feel frustrated and sad. When I look up, I notice she has a can of soda in her hand. Where did you get that? I forgot to sign it, but she understands anyway, following my eyes, and produces another one from behind her back. She tosses it in my direction, and I catch it with both hands. I brought an extra one for you. She pauses to slide her fingernail under the tab of her can and pop it open before setting it aside for a moment. If you're going to try and help me so much, then I have to look out for you too. It's only natural. If you're going to learn sign language, that's something entirely different. I'm naturally going to be impressed. What separates the two is obligation. I'm very happy. She downs her drink in one go, stretches her arms behind her back, and jumps to her feet. Okay, back to work. And like that, it's over. Shizune returns to her work with the same energy as before, the lingering traces of a smile on her face, the only evidence that she had taken a break at all. As I do the same, I think that Misha was right in saying everything would work out for the best. Everything so far seems to be going in that direction. Misha swings by as it starts to get darker, looking just as tired as I feel, and Shizune decides to stop for today. As we cover the day's work and go our separate ways, I look at how fluidly they talk to each other, and how easily they laugh together as they walk to their dorm. It makes me appreciate Misha's skill at sign language more. I wonder if I'll ever reach that level, or if even I'll have the time to. The first thing I do this morning is trip once again over Kenji's package as I get out of bed, finding myself diving headfirst into the floor before I'm even fully awake. I want to smack this thing with a first blunt object I can find, like I'm going for a home run, but I don't even have the energy for that this early in the morning, and it would likely damage what's ever inside, and that would be mean. I slide it into the hallway. It sails along the smooth floor with little difficulty, and stops with a soft, almost inaudible bump, colliding with Kenji's door. Immediately, a dozen locks unbolt in succession, like a mounting symphony. "Who is it?" he says as he blindly steps forward into the hallway anyway, somehow stepping over the box in a way that would be uncharacteristically, impressively graceful if it weren't for the fact I know it was wholly accidental. "It's me. I got your mail. You're standing over it." "I know. Thanks a lot, man." "Yeah, whatever. So what's in it?" He cringes, instantly turning very defensive and agitated. Now, I don't remember what this route goes, but there's a lot of things that could be in there. We could go the We could go the don't go to school tomorrow because out. It's nothing. Come on, tell me, I'm curious. And you know, I almost broke my neck falling over it. And before that, I had to carry this stupidly large box around it with blocking my vision, crossing roads with it in front of me. I think you can at least tell me what's inside in return. It's secret stuff. I can't tell you because then it wouldn't be very secret and shit. It's nothing important. Well, if it's nothing important, you can tell me. If it's nothing important, why do you have to know? Why is that wrong? Why do you have to know? Why can't I know? Why are you answering my questions with questions? Why won't you answer my first question? Why won't you answer my last question? I realize our voices are getting higher with each reply. Down the hall, a door pops open and someone sticks his head out quizzically to see what's going on. We must look like such tools, and I bet I'm the only one out of the two of us with enough shame to realize it. Fine, you can take it to your grave. I have to get ready for school anyway. Damn, no, why are you so hasty to leave? Stick around a little. You want some coffee? It's been a while, you know. I thought you were dead since you were so slow with the package delivery. You're lucky I was willing to do package delivery in the first place, smartass. Whoa, come down, man. You are so confrontational. Is it because of the student council thing? I hear you hang out with them now. You heard it from me when I told you. Really? Yeah, well, whatever, man. The point is that they are terrible. You're the new guy, so of course you wouldn't know. But around here, she's a decisive figure. Before you came here, she tried to institute a badge policy. It's a long story, so maybe you should sit down. I look around for a chair, but I can't find one. As we are in the goddamn hallway, I raise a finger and start thinking that maybe I should tell him that. But he's already started talking, not wanting to waste an arm movement. I look at my watch instead. It would have been a real reign of terror if that happened. Wait, you're judging her based on something that didn't even happen? Yes, anyway, her idea was like merit badges, but there would also be demerit badges. What would those do? I don't know, it never happened. It seemed bad though. So when I heard about it, I didn't leave my room for a few weeks. So you heard there would be a massive change and hid in your room. Trying to just ride the change out? Nah, I decided to do something about it. I found the student council office after a while and marched right in with a list of demands and a bunch of people I grabbed in order to make myself look like I had supporters. Wait. So not only did it not happen, but no one even cared? Kenji doesn't hear me, having gotten a good momentum going, wrapped up in the energy of his own ranting. He starts to completely flip out and flail his arms, apparently appearing to wildly throw gang signs. Okay, Crips or blood, Kenji? Okay. I walked up to the desk and said to her, "Hey, you fascist woman, what is this badge idea? How out of touch can you be? Here in your ivory tower, looking smugly down upon us like we're a bunch of idiots? Who do you think you are? Your level of elitism is terrible. You're probably one of those outrageous rich people who have chauffeurs drive them around slums so they can point and laugh. And only drink pricey coffee being shat out by the last living dinosaur and brewed in a solid gold skull." What the... Sure. Wait. Okay. And how could you? Go open up a history book. Don't you know that the bourgeoisie are always overthrown in a bloody revolution for shit like this? Stupid, you're an idiot. Sure, the revolutionaries end up turning everything into an utter clusterfuck later on, but a maniac is the only kind of person who could create a policy like this. It's like something I would create to make people suffer, only real, and you want to institutionalize it? Where will this desecration of our rights end? We are people, this is not justice. That's what I said. And then I added a cry. They can take our things, but they'll never take our freedom! To appeal to the masses, like that movie about the life of William Wallace, where they took his things, but not his freedom, and then they killed him. But she just ignored me, and I didn't even look up from writing in her little paper shit. Maybe I overwhelmed her with my logic so badly that she just retreated into denial. Maybe she's just an asshole. Either way, she didn't reply, and the future refused to change. To top it off, on the way back I realized I'd lost my student ID somewhere. This is the story of my life. A constant and seemingly futile struggle, like trying to climb up a brick wall with sponges for hands. Hey, you said nothing changed, but she didn't make anyone wear a bunch of stupid badges, so it did change. Yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe they're not so bad then. I guess that counts for something. If I can get Kenji to admit that maybe 2 women may not be as bad after all, I'll take it, especially if it allows me to slip out of this conversation. I didn't realize how much time had gone by. As I tried to run through my usual dormitory... As I tried to run through my usual morning routine as quickly as possible, I check my watch again as I leave the dorms and see that I'm already late. Fortunately, the rest of the day goes by smoothly, more smoothly, and after classes are over, I head to meet with Shizune again. Behind the school, I catch her leaning against a completed stand, with parts of it still flecked with bits of paper and tape. Remnants of signs from the last time it was used, absentmindedly spinning a nail in her hand. She hasn't noticed me yet. The temptation to sneak up on her is unbearable. Years of watching foreign wildlife documentaries have prepared me for this. I'm downwind. Conditions are favorable. However, the more I think about it, the more it seems like a bad idea. If I get caught halfway, I'll look like an idiot, and if she doesn't know it's me, I can end up with an injury. Either way, I'll look a little insensitive, so it'd probably be best to not try anything funny, as disappointing as it is. I walk in front of her, startling her a little. Why so surprised? Did I catch you slacking off? No, I was taking a break. You don't look like you even broke a sweat. That's some break there, President. Shizune's eyes dart back and forth momentarily, and I think I've managed to fluster her. There's exasperation on her face, and a little tension as well, but she can't back down. That would be unthinkable for her. Her fingers dance across the other impatiently. You're acting competitive today. Are you trying to get my blood boiling? Do you want to make it a contest? We'll race to see who can construct the most stalls by sundown. No, I'm teasing you. That's okay. I'm not a real student council. If it's not a real student council if you can't tease the student council president a little. You agree, don't you? This isn't the student... That isn't in the student council charter, so it isn't true. There is no charter. At least I don't think there is. The only thing they pledge loyalty to are a stack of takeout menus. Anyway, it's good that you're finally here. Even if you could have been earlier, pick up a hammer and we'll resume where we left off. As we work assembling the stalls again, I slowly realize it's much less work than I would have expected. In fact, according to Shizune, they should be done by the end of the day with a little luck. The last time I did something like this for them, it took her, Misha, and myself almost 4 days to do it. It can't just be my imagination. You know, this doesn't seem like that much work. Because it isn't, that answer leaves me wanting a little more, knowing that it isn't the best. Shizune puts down her hammer to elaborate. It would be impossible for 2 people to do that much work in less than a week. The truth is, I don't dismantle half the stalls, I just store them someplace else. Actually, more like I hide them in plain sight. She waggles her finger mischievously. But that's a secret, and it's not proper to reveal the tricks of the trade. You're not a magician. Winking, she takes out 2 plastic containers from her bag, and then puts them down on a nearby board before raising her hands slightly as if to say, "Ta-da! I made lunch today for both of us. You can have this one. Food shifted in my bag and now some of it is mixed together." She hands one of the containers and I open it. It looks delicious, if a little simple. She hands me a pair of chopsticks, as if she had just remembered too, and I eat what looks like some grilled beef. It's very tasty. You don't like your food touching other food? I do not. You're very picky. Sometimes I mix my food on my own, but not always, and not everything. I don't like when it's done for me. What is important is the choice. She points decisively to emphasize it, and then breaks her chopsticks apart to eat her own meal. As I continue to eat, I notice two things. The first is that almost everything I'm eating besides the rice is fried. Even the vegetables are fried. Shizune, what are you doing? And there's so much meat. Does she eat this kind of stuff all the time? I wonder how she manages to stay so thin in spite of it. The second thing I notice is that I can't talk to her while eating. Talking with your mouth full is a little rude anyway, but with our hands holding our chopsticks and bowls, communication between us is impossible, just like yesterday. Even though we're spending time together, even though I took the time to learn sign language, it feels like I'm talking to her less. Despite that, it also feels like I'm understanding her more. I hear the sound of something tapping against one of the stands and look up to see Lily standing off to my side, feeling her way around with her cane. Hi. I narrowly catch myself before I can say, didn't see you there. Oh, Hizao, is that you? I thought I smelled something delicious cooking, and I wondered who it might be. What is she saying? It's hard to move my hands in parallel to saying something completely different to Lily. This has to be why Misha just signs everything all the time. A bit sillier, but it seems like it would simplify things a lot. Shizune tense her fingers delightedly at my translation, as if from hearing a joke. All this food was cooked hours ago, but for someone as slow as yourself who can't even turn in a piece of paper without being a week late, I guess your perception of time would have to be a little different. It's not very nice. A frown crosses Lily's face in response to a reply to something she didn't hear. Sorry, I'm just having a late lunch here. The student council president cooked everything. Is the student council president here right now? She's right here. I apologize, I didn't notice. Normally, her level of presence is much higher. I was not aware that the student council serves lunch outdoors. Why wasn't I invited? I think it would be good to have enough free time to be able to do things like this, however. What is she saying? If I were to invite you anywhere, you would just show up late. But Shizune's words are outside of Lily's perception. A fact, that is, by the second increasingly maddening to her. Translate for me completely, please. What polite phrasing. It's a shame she's essentially asking me to let her fully release the dogs of war. Still, I can't just do nothing. The feeling of being unable to even respond and be understood is so isolating. She would never forgive me. I'll just try to soften her words a little. Well, actually, this was all cooked a while ago. Really? That's nice. I turn over here. It's very disrespectful to not look. Turn over here. It's very disrespectful to not look at the person you're speaking to. That isn't a way a prim and proper lady should conduct herself. Shizune, she's blind. She's blind. Anyway, half of what I'm saying is really what Shizune is saying. She doesn't like it when people don't look in her direction when she's trying to make a point. She's, to the right of my voice. Although, in this case, I can understand why Lily wouldn't. This is a very awkward situation, and it's daunting being the sole conduit for dialogue between the two of them. Truthfully, I had forgotten what happened the last time they butted heads like this. It's clear Shizune remembers, and Lily is being pretty hostile herself in her own way. I'm sorry, such formality slipped my mind completely. I forgot that the student council president is the type of person who would demand such respect and adherence to the rules at all times. I suppose student council requires you to keep a tight ship. Then again, she certainly has time for her own fun as well, so that must not be completely true. Student council is not a dictatorship nor a zero-sum game. Okay, that's thundering and lightning out there. Shizune points at Lily with her finger, out like a barrel of a gun, and snaps her fingers explosively, causing her to flinch and become visibly upset. Is that so? Then it makes it more impressive that you have been part of it for so long, playing it as though you were one. I admire the fact that you are so tenacious. To manage it all, you must be so responsible as well. Not as much as I would like to be. You can't complain about yourself though, can you? You're not very responsible. Actions like requesting a deadline to be extended and then running all the way through to the next deadline, that's a very model of responsibility. Shizune is happy to hear that, but apparently you're very responsible. You're pretty responsible yourself, she says. Does she really? More or less. Lily doesn't seem very happy. We're not holding a school cookout. We're just taking a little lunch break. We're actually just out here building stalls for the festival. You wouldn't know since you never go outside. Did you run out of tea? Are you going into town shopping? No, as I said before, I was just passing by, in case you did not hear. I would hate to interrupt the student council president. You're not doing anything now, but you both must be very busy. In any case, Hazao, I'm sure that student council president will be able to find or make work for the both of you if she needs to. I'll devour you! Yeah, very busy. Devour is a hard word. I'm pleased that I can read it. This isn't the time to celebrate, though. Not over that. Instead, it looks like they might stop squabbling. I would drink to that. Have a nice day, Hazao. Goodbye, student council president. Thanks, you too. Stay classy. As soon as Lily leaves, Shizune dives into the remains of her lunch as quickly as possible, as if each bite she shovels away is a means to forgetting any of this ever happened. When she is done, she heads right back to hammering with the same mindset. It's good that she's working off her frustration, but now it doesn't look like she's in any mood to talk anymore. About 2 hours later, she stops, having mowed through the rest of the stalls non-stop in that time. It still feels hard to approach her, and I think about how easily a conversation can die. After it took so long to be able to get her alone and speak to her directly, it almost hurts. Your translation was good. Really? First class. She punctuates it with a thumbs up. For your level. There aren't many deaf people in the school, and sign language classes have been on the edge of getting cut for a while now. I'm sure you don't have many classmates, am I right? If you're only learning sign language now, your speed is going to be limited. That is why interest in it wanes, because it takes more effort than normal just to communicate. I imagine it's the same with all languages. In such a situation, conversations in sign language are less than they would be inherently to start with. I don't understand that word. Less what? Spontaneous. Misha is the only person who could really capture it. Yeah, that's definitely true. Her expression changes for a second, and changes back to quickly digest, but I get the feeling that this isn't meant to be pursued. What I really want to know about is, why do you and Lily fight so much? Tensing a little and verbally frowning, Shizune tenses her fingers and overlays them repeatedly, as if shuffling an invisible deck of cards. Two fights that you know of aren't worth calling so much. If you had been there last year, you could say that. I heard it was a rough year. Something about how you tried to institute a badge policy? Surprised? Well, I want to hear more about that later. Definitely. But you don't like Lily very much, do you? Don't dodge the question. I'm not dodging anything. She was part of the student council until last year. We didn't get along very well. She wanted to keep doing things like the old student council did. The old student council was just ineffectual. It was stupid and insulting. I wanted to do more, and we had a fight. A lot of fights. She couldn't do anything on time. Then she said that what I wanted to do was meaningless, just extra busy work. Does this look like extra meaningless busy work to you? Shizune gestures around us. What's really meaningless is a student council that doesn't do anything. Weak, lazy, and boring. Especially boring. I couldn't get excited over... Oh my god. I couldn't get excited over sitting in a room with nothing to do. That's just a waste of time. Why would I even be there? It didn't get my blood flowing arguing with her, does that? If she could have been that motivated before, she wouldn't have put so much dedication into being my enemy. But if she shows that much spirit, it's not a complete loss. At least it's something. It's still exciting. I see. And what about the badge thing? She laughs, covering her mouth with her hand as if to hide it. Her laughter is the only thing she regularly tries to hide. That was just a joke. Having a little fun sometimes is important too. Alrighty then, since it is currently 4:15 and the 4th of July, so basically, I'm going to... No, not that. I'm going to save here. And this is going to be the end of my recording sessions for today. And tomorrow, hopefully, I should get more done. All right, let's. I'm gonna look at this. Let's see. All right, library, 56%. Wonderful. So that, yeah, I got like a chunk of scenes. So yeah. Okay. Well, have a nice day. It's been Dean the Autist. Goodbye. See you later.